Holy cow, Johnny
Alright.
Test.
So I guess we'll begin now. Here, TX,
Johnny
get
Test
off the
told me
stage.
Jags last time.
You're not even running.
Alright.
Oh, I'm running for senator. I forgot.
Yeah,
No,
this isn't for
can't
senator.
say
This isn't for senator.
no.
You can get off the stage. You can get off the stage. There you go. Stand in the corner. Be security. That's your job. All right. And then Burb, sit down.
Spot.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time to begin. So, hey y'all. Now we're gonna be beginning the elections. So as you can see right now, we have a great roster of different candidates that are very unique and each have their own platforms. So now let's give each candidate a minute to explain what their
weapons
goals
away.
are and how Snjokoma will
Please put
change
weapons
under them.
away.
So first off,
Put the
let's
weapon
start
away,
with Xylo.
sir.
Come up to the stage.
Put the
explain
weapon
what
away.
is gonna happen during your administration. And everyone else got off the.
Get off the stage, bro.
Hello.
Hey, Deadly.
Go, get
I'm
off the stage,
Xylo.
leave.
Some of you will
Jesus
remember
Christ.
me
Alright.
as the
Bro.
president a few weeks back. When I came
Dark,
to
get
power, I
Dark,
promised
please,
that we would
please,
turn
please
Snjokoma
go
into
to
a
the
global
audience area now.
superpower. A lot of people laughed at that idea.
Please,
We
just
were
go.
just a small nation at the time. We had a few people. We were fairly insignificant in
God.
compared to a lot of nations, and there was a global alliance of people that was against us. Eventually, though, after a few days and a few weeks of diplomacy, we became
Can
what
I
is
have a
now,
question?
Okay. Who
I
fired
would
a rocket?
argue, to be one of the strongest powers
Can I have
in
a
the
question?
entirety of Eldoria.
What's the question?
What I would continue is
What's
this
on
kind
the
of
rank?
mindset of
I'm a
diplomacy
owner
and
of
keeping our
Snjokoma.
allies close.
Okay,
Keeping
you're
this
not.
that we've
You're
established
not. You're
beforehand to
not.
Daybreak, for example. Keeping
Alright,
Etheria,
just-
for example, close to us.
Alright.
And I think within this foreign policy, we could advance forward together. I think we could also push for the never to be greater allies within us, and I think we could even push to go forward together with more nations. So in terms of foreign diplomacy, I believe we're on the right track, and I think, yes, we are a global superpower, the likes of which Eldoria has never seen before. And I think our enemies, which have largely been Falkland in the past few weeks, have been crumbling before us because they don't know what to do. So in terms of our foreign diplomacy, I would say that. In terms of infrastructure, in terms of other nations, in terms of within our nation, I think we've done an okay job in terms of elections, but it's taken a long time to get to this position. I think we could publish for a judiciary system, a legal system, internal politics, the likes of which we can and have never seen before. I think we can push for internal diplomacy, internal democracy, and I think we can push forward together. I think Snjokoma should go forward. Thank you.
Wow, impressive. Very nice. Next up, let's have Generic. Come up to the stage, man.
Alright, can you all hear me?
Yep. Yep. You're good.
Alright, good. Alright, I would like to basically introduce my program real quick. For the past few weeks, we have seen Snjokoma go into wars, go into battles, and we have won those wars because of our sheer determination to show the nations of Eldoror that we can win, that we can be strong. We are strong. Snjokoma is and will be the strongest nation, but it's time we start a new league. It's time we move down a path of diplomacy and peace. We cannot continue this warmongering diplomacy that we have been following for the past few weeks. For those who don't know, all of these wars have been in the interest of Snjokoma. All of these wars they have been in the interest of our nation, of our security. But it's time that we stop this, as we try to make new allies. We try to resolve conflicts with proper diplomacy. It's time that we don't resolve every issue with war. Sure, we can say that the Falkland issue couldn't have been resolved without war, and I agree with that. But now we can resolve our conflicts with proper diplomacy because Snjokoma is the strongest nation on the server. We have the most people, we have the most resources, we have political power. It's time we use that power. And under my leadership, I can tell you that our nation will be the best place to do business, the best place to do diplomacy, the best place to live. Under my project that I have proposed and which was graciously accepted by our current president Suchoy, those projects will go forward under my leadership. They will happen, and the horny project that many of you know is not the last. In this very state, there have been less development than in the capital Horod. In many states, this is the same. It's time we change that. Under my leadership, I promise the development of other states besides Horod will go ahead. Thank you.
Nice, nice. A lot on the horny project. Very nice. Okay. Now let's have Sliz come up, and I guess you'll have your translator. So.
I'm the translator, guys. Hey.
Yep.
All right, so first of all, I'd like to thank the current administration a lot. Especially Suit Goat. He has brought a golden age to Snjokoma, the likes of which we have never seen before. And Played, despite resigning, was a great president. He snatched a tie out of the jaws of defeat and saved our nation from the Nether's wrath. Now, about my projects. First of all, I'd like to continue Suit's new horrid laws. Which plan to develop states like Nortop and Rosselejo. Also, we need to... Fucking hell. Sorry, guys. I can't read. Also, we need to arm our citizens with nether. Netherite candy. Yeah, well, you wrote nether. I'm sorry. Language berry. Am I right, guys?
There will be no more throwing of items in the area, otherwise I will be stabbing you with a sword.
Yo.
Please do not.
Also, we are
Invite
going to bring
Discord,
back
buddy.
our former strength from
We
before
have the
war.
invite link.
Invite me.
It's
Making sure
already in the
nobody
Discord.
messes with
I
Snjokoma
can't
again.
find it. It's not there.
Crazy.
Oh my god, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm looking in the Snjokoma. I scrolled all the way up. There's jack shit.
It's there.
I just looked.
Duck, I sent it to you. I sent it to you.
I'm in.
Who the fuck just threw me weed, bro?
I just said it anyways because it's right
Oh
there.
my god.
My
You
job.
got-
I
Put the
get paid for it.
crossbow down, man.
Why are you guys fighting? What is this, dude?
Bones at the election. Bones at the election.
I'm just trying to listen to this.
Stop throwing things onto the stage, please. Thank
Look
you.
at all these quick drops. Look at them all.
We got fucking
My
weed,
bad,
dude.
my bad, Burb. Somebody threw me weed. I didn't want it.
Yo, we got all the Magnolians on one thing, and then
Why are
just
you
both.
not so slow? Why? What are you wearing?
Potato, shut
Gonna
up!
take
We are
a
doing an
while.
election here.
So here's what I'm gonna say. Oh, no. There we go.
And to make
This
sure
is-
of this, I am going to make a fortress city in the mountains north, named Gondolin. Gondolin. The likes of which the server has never seen.
You smell like shit, by the way.
Similar to the Great Marrowed Cathedral.
Crickets, bro. Fucking cricket.
Oh, thanks, Magnolia. You're also a nerd.
What? Hold on a minute. Oh, who said that? Oh, okay.
Anyways, thank you for letting me speak. That is all.
He said one thing about the fortress, bro. Are we serious?
What fortress?
He's not getting my vote.
Nice, okay.
Gondolin has already
No, we can't vote, bro.
I'll
First
vote.
off, before
I don't
say
know.
anything
I don't know
else,
if anyone can hear me, but it's
Dark. Behave, bro. Behave. Alright, now we got Sliz, so let's move on to the one, the only, Harlow.
One last thing!
Oh, no, not him. Anyway.
Oh, Harlow, boo!
all right. With all. Also, Dark,
Right,
shut
Magnolia,
up.
Magnolia,
Thank
look
you.
at-
Boo!
Dark. And you. Though I do agree.
Making sure that Horde gets developed too, with the horny laws.
Horny laws.
Yes, horny laws.
Horny laws.
Horny laws.
Now that is all
What the
horny
fuck
laws.
is horny laws, bro?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The what laws?
What, the,
Horny
what
laws.
is
Horny laws.
what is horny
Okay.
laws?
Think they are.
I think they're stealing from
so
our.
as I said
I think they're
before,
stealing from our
let's get it,
constitution
the
with
one,
the public
the
nudity.
only, Harlow himself. Get up on stage.
Boo!
Oh.
I'm not voting.
Okay.
I'm not voting for this.
Alright, apparently Harlow wants to
I'm
get
just
a
gonna
stage
turn
speech
around.
for him
I'm not even
as he
looking.
can't speak as is he's in public. So I'm just
Why
gonna,
is he in
God.
public?
I guess,
You
read
guys
this
stop
out
throwing
for him.
stuff.
Okay.
It's because he sounds like a 5-year-old. That's why.
He, yeah,
he is a
did it
Alright.
last time.
Thank you for gathering here today. I respect
Please
my
stop
opponents.
throwing
Many of them
items.
have done great
Magnolia,
things,
shut it.
but Snjokoma needs someone new, but also someone with experience. The Progressive Party is giving you that someone.
Experience.
Our nation has won wars across the continent, but it's time to focus on our domestic policy. But that has already been flawed by previous presidencies. While Zilge was a great wartime leader, he claims to want to create judiciary committee under the government. But why didn't he do that on his first term? We need someone who is responsible and won't ignore the issues his people face. We need someone who will build up his citizens, not tear down. The Horny Project will be expanded under my administration, but the current way of going through it by the current ruling party and successors will not go well. Presidential powers do not allow the president to tear down the homes of its citizens. Instead, we will pay these citizens and rehome them in bigger plots. Under a progressive presidency, new homes will be developed, new neighborhoods, a courthouse, a bank, several branches of said bank, alongside a new national forest outside Harad. Under a progressive presidency, smaller towns will not be ignored. We will redevelop our pathways and create railways in between towns to allow for non-beacon travel. Under our progressive party candidate, a new process of allowing immigration into Snjokoma. We will already gone through this process with new Nether citizens and Rijland. We will create new status to commemorate our heroes of the past. It is time for a return to normalcy, and that will return to normalcy is under Harlow and Nate.
Can everyone get on
Boo!
sorry?
Boo!
Can everyone get on sorry?
So that was Harlow's candidate.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Now with that, we will move on to the final candidate.
Get me on the stage.
Order in the court. Order in the court.
I'm
Everyone,
making
calm
an
down.
announcement.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm. Get off the stage. Get off the stage. Calm down. Order in the court. I swear to God. Order in the court. Everyone off the stage. Everyone. I swear. Order in the court. Everyone, calm down. Shut up. Shut up.
You're running for president, right?
No one likes it. No one likes it.
Order in
Except
the
my
court,
child.
Why
please.
did you
calm-
argue with me over this then? Get him off the stage. Okay. All right. Now we got Slinky out of the way. We will move on to the first question. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe
Chaos
don't
in the audience, just like chill out for a second. It's like everyone sit down. All right. First question. During the last two administrations, the Republic obtained quite a few enemies, and our relations with some nations got weakened, being the Empire of Magnolia and Falkland remnants specifically. How would Snjokoma proceed with these relations under your administration? Would you focus on violent means, or would you prefer a more diplomatic approach? And we will begin with Xylo.
Yeah, what do you think
Well,
to
they
do about
say
us, Shiloh?
if you need to prepare for peace, you need to prepare for
Good
war.
boy.
And that's
Keep
what
keep
been
praising
my
me.
policy the last few weeks or so. When I came in, I wanted to be a peacetime leader, but it was shockingly aware to me that many nations wanted to undermine our democracy and saw our inherent democracy as a reason
I
to
love
try and kill us
democracy.
all. And so to that I say, look, if we want peace, we need to establish peace, and that it can only be done on our own terms. The Union War was something we deemed necessary. The Falkland War was something we deemed necessary. I think, honestly, if we want to have a system where we can build peacefully, we do need to have control of our foreign policy. And many candidates have said that, yes, that we needed this state of war and now we can work on peace. Well, I say, well, we had those wars for a reason. We had them for like a purpose, a cause. Now we can work on that kind of peace, but we do need to establish that when the other candidates speak, it is Magnolia and other nations that are saying, vote for those candidates. It is when people are saying that they should work on democracy, work internally, work on isolation. How did that work? Falklands. I think the enemy people standing here today are saying vote for those candidates. And so to that I say, I think you need a strong leader. I think you need someone to actually be there at the handles. And I think when people like Salers or when people like Jen say, yeah, we need to look on ourselves, I think I agree with that notion. But I think you all agreed to say that the Falkland War and the Union War were necessary. And I don't think anyone could have accomplished them as well as I did. And I say that especially considering that the Plaid administration called me one day before the war, told me we have no idea what's going on, and that we need someone to take charge. And within a day, I turned what was going to be a loss, fighting 70 people, into what was a draw. Could you imagine what would have happened if I was there a week before, training people, getting arms, getting gears, making plans, making battle plans? I think we would have won that war. Thank you.
Well, you didn't, buddy.
Request an
Nice, okay.
order.
No.
Please,
I just wanna
orderly.
Can
You
everyone just
don't.
like stop firing arrows?
You
You're
don't.
still in
Please stop.
you
No
know,
throwing.
Snjokoma state, so just chill
We are
out.
just doing our jobs. Please
Okay,
calm down.
so same question now goes to who is next? Generic, and I can repeat it if
lobby,
you wish.
This is a fucking GTA lobby. I'm telling
Right.
you.
So, I completely agree well, you already heard that those wars which we fought were completely necessary. And my diplomacy will follow a peaceful one. But this doesn't mean that I will just let
Get on
foreign
my head, bro.
powers
Get on my head.
fight their way for favorable terms which are not favorable to us.
Stop.
I will
Stop.
only
Stop
only
fucking taking my
follow a
shade.
peaceful diplomacy if it means that we get what we want. I will only accept deals from foreign powers that will favor Snjokoma, because our nation can fight. We have seen this during the Falkland War, during the Transcontinental War. These policies, these diplomatic policies, they will be strong. They will not benefit any other power besides our own. And I can assure you, with the new powers in the Nether slowly moving to the slowly moving to the overworld, I will not lead a fully peaceful diplomacy with them. What I mean by this is I will not give them deals that will only favor them. I will only give them deals that will favor Snjokoma and maybe them. All right?
Selfish as fuck, by the
Bro,
way. Just so you know.
Why would
You're
I
very
work against
selfish.
my
For
own
real.
nation?
Very selfish.
That's not cool. You understand me? Right. Thank you.
Nice. Okay. Now we will do Sliz. Hopefully you had a paragraph prepared. And I can repeat the question if you wish. Okay, yeah, I can. All right. Question was, during the last two administrations, the Republic obtained quite a few enemies and negative relations with other nations, being specifically the Empire of Magnolia and some Falkland remnants. How would Snjokoma proceed with these relations under your administration?
All right. It is clear to me that Falcon cannot be reasoned with because they exist purely to start wars.
They're kind of
They don't
Magnolian
exist
now,
anymore.
just so you know. Yeah, like
Well,
brother.
No, the Falklanders are gone. The Falklanders are gone.
Yeah, brother. They're kind of part of Magnolia now. Like
Well,
brother.
the ones who
They're
remain.
part of sexy
like,
Magnolia.
I can't.
Yeah, don't worry. They're under control. We handle that.
However,
Well,
Magnolia,
no-
despite being an aggressive nation, can be reasoned with,
Whoa,
however hard that may be.
Whoa. What do you mean aggressive, buddy?
Aggressive.
Can I just say that I've been
better
with
watch
the
your words
What the
Magnolians
fuck are you
forever,
even doing,
and they're
man?
so
Leave
nice
me,
with
leave my
me.
shit alone. Holy
You better
shit.
watch your words
You don't
carefully, buddy.
deserve a chair.
Get
You know,
out of
I'm on a
here.
tower with
Crazy.
just Magnolians,
Oh,
and they're
I'm
all
gonna
cool with
be-
me, and I'm not a Magnolian.
Aggressive.
I seek to reason with them and continue the NAP that Suchoid
Not
administration started.
Yo, man, leave me alone, man.
Aggressive nation. I hope you choose your next words carefully,
Okay,
bro.
well, Dutch, more like aggressive princess.
No.
I will
Yes.
shoot
We have an aggressive princess.
you. Scandy, I gotta get into you. You better say these next words very
Oh
nicely.
my god, dude.
Hey, bro, I'm just a spokesman.
Yeah, he's.
Well,
he's
I'll
just
shoot Sliz. All right, I'll shoot Sliz.
No, don't shoot anyone. Don't shoot anyone.
I expected better from a
No.
Polak.
I did expect a little better, but okay.
Yeah, fuck off.
Yeah.
That's what
wow.
talk movies.
Yeah,
But I will
pretty
not
much.
let them
Bow and
take
arrow.
advantage of us, and I will make sure that Snjokoma
What?
remains first in diplomatic
Selfish,
relations.
selfish
Sorry.
cons, selfish cons.
Also, some guy called me a fucking slur.
Me? Yeah, I know I did. Well, Polak? Oh yeah, I called you a Polak, buddy.
That's
I
not
can
Why
show
are
true.
you
you.
saying
We're both
slurs?
Polish. We're both
What
Polish.
is
It's
that?
fine.
Doug,
Yeah,
you're
look at me.
Polish too?
I am Polish.
All right.
Oh, hello. Oh my goodness, it's 3 Polish people.
Yeah, and they're all leaders.
Anyways,
Can we get every Polish person to be a leader of a nation?
Yeah. We already have Botara. We're gonna have
Magnolia.
Snjokoma, Magnolia. Yeah.
Magnolia.
Only the Polish people need. Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that statement.
We need manifest destiny.
Yep.
if you vote for me, you will know that Snjokoma will be first when it comes to foreign matters, making sure that our
It's
will
like a
be
broken
done.
record, bro. They just keep repeating themselves. Every single one of them. It's like, ooh, Snjokoma goes first. It's
That
like,
is all.
Okay,
You guys are boring as
can,
fuck.
Can you please sit down? Thank you.
Can somebody
Good.
say Snjokoma last? Like that would be pretty unique.
Yeah, can we get like Snjokoma? We're gonna put their interests last, buddy.
Now,
Can we get a
of
pro?
course,
Can we
last
get a
from
pro
left, we
Magnolian
have
president,
Arlo.
please? We need a pro Mag.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no!
yeah. Just
Okay, he
All right,
sent
we'll
me
just shoot
another
this guy on
speech.
standby. Don't worry,
Right,
we'll just
I
shoot
guess
him.
I'll read this out. Okay. What the? Harlow, what is this? Is this a speech or a response? Okay.
I second this agent. Yo, what? I'm not sucking your what now?
I'm just gonna read it out. All right. Of course, we need a standing army. I will enforce foreign policy, but we can give an excuse to. But can we give an excuse to
Harlow,
invade one
you got
nation
dropped 3
and what
times in a-
then? We can go to war with another nation, then another, all in the name of democracy. Zilch, you're a better general than a president, and that isn't an insult. It's a compliment. It isn't our responsibility to be peacemakers. We protect our allies and go through a diplomatic solution. A standing army is to protect our people, not invade other nations. Falkland does not exist anymore. Its players are gone. The problem makers are gone. I do not have a good history with Magnolia, but I don't hold it against them. I want to meet Slender. I want to set all of it on the table. That's what a president does. Okay. Nice speech.
Harlow, let's run the
Harlow.
1v1s. Let's run the 1v1s,
Now we will move on
Harlow.
to the second question, y'all. How would your administration handle tyranny across the world? Should our republic stay in its corner of the world politically, or should we work towards the abolishment of undemocratic systems across the land? And of course, we'll start again with
Cold War type
Zylo.
shit.
Communism, the ideology of hate, must be destroyed and eradicated from the world.
Yes!
I believe that
Yes!
no
I like
communism
I like
should be
this.
allowed at all in any form possible. And so if I got into government, if you voted for me, I would try and make it my policy to target all nations that adhere to the policies of socialism, communism, Leninism, Marxism, at any forms at all. I would make it my goal to the be-all and end-all that my democratic state, Snjokoma, would target those nations. And so let me be the one to say that I would be strong in matters of foreign policy. Many candidates here today, Harlow, Slears, and to a lesser extent Jen, because he seems to be more reasonable than the others, have been fairly vague in terms of their foreign policy. They say we need peacetime, but advocate for war at the same time against nations. They're selling to you a lie where they want you to believe that if you vote for them, there won't be a war. But at the same time, they're also saying that they encourage war against certain states. I'm going to be adamant and forefront in the belief that if you vote for me, we might get into a conflict with a communist state and ideology. And I say, yes, there are nations in the world that want to destroy our nation. It is the truth of the world that people in the world want to destroy our corner of the world. And I can't say that, we can spend that time building. But in my administration, let it be known that Howard became a major megapolis. It became one of the strongest nations and one of the vastest cities in the entire world. We built the cathedral in 4 days, and I was part of that, building it alongside you. So for those saying that we can't have peace alongside projects of war, I say that to this, well, in my administration, I could. Why couldn't you? Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Now we will go on to generic, and I can repeat the question if you wish.
No, that's all right. Anyways, well, this question is quite interesting because it's basically related to the last question. As I said, I will not start any wars unless if it's in the interest of Snjokoma. I will try to negotiate peaceful deals against any power, unless if that power is purely aggressive, like Falkland, is purely evil, just like Falkland before. We have neutralized our greatest enemy right now, but this doesn't mean that a new nation can't come along. As Zylo said as well before me, we cannot we cannot let go. Can you stop that? Let our guard down. We cannot go on without war. There will be a war eventually. Snjokoma cannot go forever without peace, but we can extend that time of peace. We can extend the time of peace under my administration. Make no mistake. Snjokoma is a strong nation. Snjokoma is a strong nation that has power through diplomacy. We are strong. We can make simple threats and we can get our way. We can get a favorable deal. Don't worry, people. Under my administration, we will not have any wars, and we will neutralize any enemy that may come across. Thank you.
All right. Now we'll be moving on to Sliz. I pray you type this out already.
Hey, y'all. All right, let me be clear. I will have zero tolerance policy towards communism.
Hell yeah.
I am good. How much?
Get out.
Let's see
Pitch,
this
get
is-
Take
out.
it from the man whose IRL nation was enslaved by commies.
Get
Let's
off
see
the
it. Let's see
get
what
off the
this is saying.
stage, brother.
Okay, fine.
I know what it's like to live under a horrible dictatorship.
Get him out. Get him out. Get him out.
And so I know that nations like Rajaland, which are evil communist states,
Oh, those are our allies. For shame, for shame.
All right,
cannot be allowed to live without fear in their hearts.
we're good. We're good.
Kill the commies.
We will make them shake out of fear for our intervention. That their poor people will one day be freed.
Potato, can I have the bottle back, by the way?
Yo,
If you-
you.
And allowed to live under the greatest system of all. Democracy and capitalism. That is all. Money, y'all. Thank you very much.
Nice. Okay. Now, Harlow is giving me a new speech for this one, so I'll read it out. All right. Instead of fear mongering against different nations and tribes, we need to enforce diplomacy. We cannot go halfway across the world if we don't like their ideology and attack them. If the people of a nation choose a monarchy, let them. If they choose socialism, there we go, let them. Once again, it isn't our responsibility to micromanage this continent. We cannot play overlord. We are not that. If a nation truly hurts their citizens and threatens us and our people, then action will be taken through diplomatic means like sanctions, blockades, and more. A standing army will prevent further conflicts around us. And while peace isn't a guarantee forever, it will be a guarantee during my presidency. We need a return to normalcy. He bolded that one. Okay. So with that, I'm gonna ask for like one more question for the candidates, and then we'll move on to maybe a few targeted, and then just open it up to anyone. Okay. So next question. Out of all the candidates here, who do you feel would be the worst fit for our country? And we can start with Zyla.
Well, let's bring some positivity to the situation. I believe Jen would be the best candidate. In terms of the worst candidate, I don't know. It might be a tie between a few individuals. I don't believe Sliz should be president because I don't believe that typing slowly in matters of diplomacy is going to get us any accord. I don't think that's a show of power. And I believe his last question was very much just a repeat of mine after he saw that my answer was quite popular with a lot of people, despite him himself saying that he did not align with my policies. He suddenly took one on for himself. And then you have Harlow, who joined the nation within this week, no, last week even. So that might even disqualify him for being president. We don't know about that, but you know, I was here in Snjokoma the first hours of the first day, and I say I'm a Snjokoman because I was here from the start. Harlow was not. Harlow was a candidate of another nation just days prior to coming here, and we gave him refuge. And now he talks of Snjokoma as if it was his sacred land, that he's always been here. To that I say that Harlow, I have been leader for more weeks than you've been a citizen of this nation, and I believe that foreign policy isn't your strong suit in terms of how we should run. So to that I say that Solis, who types slowly, I think Scandi, the person speaking for him, would be a better candidate than Sliz himself, and because of his sexy voice, no less. And I would say to Harlow, I think you would need more experience within this nation beforehand. And to that I say, Jen, I think you would be a pretty good candidate for this nation. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Now we will, of course, do generic. Come up
Right.
here if you like.
I mean, it's a bit quite chaotic on stage. First of all, I just want to quickly thank Zylo for his words. So this is quite a tough question, but unfortunately, no doubt in my mind, the worst candidate right now, as of now, would be probably Harlow and his entire party probably. Both the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate have just recently joined the nation. Nate, of course, last time running for president, was even murdered on stage because of his unpopularity, his policies. What difference? Let me ask you this, people. Could Harlow possibly just do the same thing as what Nate would have done? Is his entire program, which most of it is basically mine, it could be just a cover-up for Nate's program of basically becoming a right-wing, far-right extremist nation? No, of course, we cannot let this happen. This is a disgrace to Snjokoma democracy, in my opinion. I'll let everyone decide it for themselves. And letting nations that are communist just live is a disgrace to democracy. I don't think we should allow that. Even though we should let some nations decide what type of government they want for themselves, we should always get rid of the dirty communists who wreak havoc across Eldoror and basically, come on, basically just aren't good. Like, bruh, yeah, get rid of commies, even though, yeah, thank you.
Okay, nice. Now, of course, we have Liz. Get up here.
All right.
Also, can y'all just like stop briefing and like stop messing around? Thank you.
So first of all,
Here.
I'd like to say
Hold on,
that
hold on, hold
Silo
on.
has
Sorry.
completely turned on. Huh?
Let me just say this. Duct, I'm gonna need you to leave. You've just been going around causing chaos. You just leave, that'd be nice. Alright, there you go.
So first of all, I'd like to say that Silo has completely turned a 180 on his previous ideals. I once ran as a VP under him, and although I believe in his competency, I can't speak English, y'all. Sorry. I feel like he now does nothing but seek his own power.
Hey, okay, hold on. There's like a fight going on between Magnolia. Duct, if you could just leave, please.
Harlow, though, is the worst offender.
Here. Orange, let him use the beacon. Let him use the beacon.
Letting dirty communists live in peace is something that any true Snjokoman should hate. Which further proves that he, a non-citizen, he just arrived in the nation and put his name on the ballot. Now, let me say, along with Mazira, I founded the great city of Horud. And my oh my, no, has it grown? What the fuck? And my oh my, how has it grown? Sorry, can't read. I can promise similar growth in other cities in our great democratic nation. By continuing with suit, goats, new horde laws. Something that Harlow seeks to abandon. In order to make peace with fascist, communist, and fascist, communist, I will not stand with such ideals. I will continue and improve upon Snjokoma's great golden age. I love Snjokoma, and you should too. That is all, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Okay. And now finally, Harlow gave another speech, so I'll read this out. Xylo, I understand your concern, but because of my recent history with Snjokoma, I know how new immigrants and joiners go through. I know how they feel as they walk through the streets of Harad. I cannot fathom the fact you put down someone who adopted Snjokoma as their home nation. I am inspired by Snjokoma. And I want to lead it into a new golden age. And to you, generic, the fear mongering is out of control, frankly. Nate has a home in Snjokoma, as do I. The Progressive Party is the most centralist party, center-left party in the market. Our policies speak for themselves. Public housing, government-sponsored housing, and more. If we continue to allow these fear-mongering candidates to spout their nonsense, what else will they do? I have run a campaign on positivity, not slander. I have run a campaign on improving Snjokoma, not doing a 180 on my policies, Zilge, and sticking to my guns. Repeatedly have I said I will stick to our allies and stick to democracy. But I will bend those words to somehow support extremist. But if you bend those words to somehow support extremist ideals, you are just as bad as the people who spread those ideals. That is all. Thank you. Okay. Now we will do like a kind of lightning targeted questions. So first up, Zilch, coming to the stage.
I'm here.
Okay. Under your party's platform, you have explained your administration would focus on anti-communism and terrorism. To what extent should Snjokoma interfere with international policies and foreign regimes? Is it our place to fight against red governments such as that in Rajland?
I believe it is our place to do so. I would argue that communist regimes threaten the existence of the entire world of Eldoria. Many nations, such as Jasnica and others, are actually currently concerned with the idea of communism threatening their nations themselves. And to that I say, I think Snjokoma does play a heavy-handed role in trying to enforce power in other nations and actually requires to do so. Who's this man trying to kill me? But I believe that systems of communism are not good for the world entirely, and I believe the international community stands behind us when we do so. Many have called my policy 180. I don't know what that means because I've always been anti-communism in terms of the entire world itself. People say the Snjokoman global age, golden age, And I say, when was that golden age? Was it during the Falkland War, or was it after the Union War, which I won for the nation? Was it when we were constructing horror to the greatest extent we had ever done so before? Because I'm pretty sure that was a golden age. Was it now? Can we turn things around and have a new golden age? To that I'd say, would you vote for Sliz for a golden age? Would you vote for Harlow for a golden age? I don't think you would. I think you would vote for me. Thank you.
Can I just remind y'all, you're not allowed to kill us in our land. Especially when we ask first. So, and Duck, we've asked you to leave multiple times now. Thank you. Okay. Now we will have generic come up.
All right.
Hey, generic. All right. As I'm aware, you're very new to Snjokoman politics, never once holding any other government title besides some diplomatic roles. How can the everyday citizen trust you'll be able to defend our republic against foreign aggression?
I have worked, as you said, in diplomacy. I have gotten some nations, mainly New Media, basically at the end, at the start of the server, to basically become our allies. I helped the first DXFC administration with that. It couldn't have been done without me, I would say. And I suppose with that record of diplomacy behind my back, I think we can get favorable deals from any other nation. And just a quick response to Hollow. You basically copied my entire program, the entire program of the UCP, and you claim it for yourself. And then you say that we will evict citizens without compensation. Bro, get the hell out of here. Anyways, we will evict citizens without compensation. This is not true. We would give those citizens new homes. We would give them proper compensation. Yeah, basically that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Sliz, come up here. Okay, Sliz. You've expressed your desire to remain mute, as well as supporting other mutes within the nation. However, could being mute potentially work against the interests of the nation? For example, would being mute make diplomatic meetings difficult? Or maybe even giving a speech, answering some questions?
I don't believe so. My being mute actually gives me an advantage. Well, some people say the first thing that comes out of their minds, but I have time to think behind the keyboard. So while I may not scream at communists in meetings, I can calmly tell them that they are a false government and that their end is near. Also, I will help fellow mutes to have positions in government. By assigning speakers with sexy voices like Scandy to speak for him. Thank you, by the way. So their voices can be heard, not silenced. Thank you very much once again for this opportunity. This is all as it is now the VP question round.
Nope, we still got Harlow. So, Harlow, you've racked up quite the international reputation. How do you plan to turn this around? I guess you can just DM me it. Duct, why are you back here again? Okay, Harlow sent me his thing. I plan on creating several press conferences alongside meeting privately with Slender to smooth things over. I hold nothing against the King of Magnolia. In fact, I had quite a nice conversation with him this morning. Okay, cool, nice. Basically, that was the last bit of questions because I'm trying to shorten this down. I do have some for the vice presidents, but I guess we don't need a whole thing for that. So yeah, the election, we'll put a poll in. Thank you all for coming. It's very nice. I want to apologize.
Could we have a section on open debate? I think that'd be good.
All right, we could do that. Okay. I do have a question for Duck though. How many apples did you lose? Okay, anyway. Who wants to ask a question? Or just raise your hand. Star, you want to? Okay. I will let you up real quick. Hey, Star.
I'm about to get very probey with Slits. Slits, you said you lived
No,
under...
hang on. I want to remind you, you're not here to debate him. You're here to just ask him a question.
Oh, I am asking a question.
Keep that in mind. Okay,
all right.
There you go. All yours.
You said you lived in a dictatorship in real life. What country was that? Okay, for everyone saying he's Polish, does anyone believe that Slits was born before 1989?
I lived and still lived in former dictatorship, and I am not fucking 40 years old.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Thank you, that answers my question. Fucking liar.
Didn't he say that originally?
No. He said straight up dictatorship.
Okay.
Thanks for clearing that up.
We can get a fact
I'd
check
just like to
All right.
check credibility.
Okay. All right, now let's have I mean technically Boat is the first option, but your voice is kind of annoying. I'm gonna let up Silky. Oh. Silky, you gotta accept it. Okay, in the meantime, I was gonna bring up Arnold. There you go. Since you didn't, but
Call me Patrick Bateman, man. Call me Patrick Bateman. Anyway, I have a question for all of you. No, I'm Patrick Bateman, man. You just need to realize. Anyway, what do you guys think about the TXFC execution? That's my question to
Oh
all
my,
candidates.
this guy. Oh my, this
Are we executing that guy? He said some bad things about my mind. I feel like he deserves to be executed.
It's execution soon. Bro, I promise TXFC will be executed soon. On Sucho's life, we were executing TX. On Sucho's life.
Good.
On Sucho's life, he will be gone.
Good. Okay, now Harlow and Sliz. The other candidates. I'm asking this to everyone.
Yeah, bro.
You guys
As
think he's
part
gonna
of
get executed?
yeah, let me add to that. Because we are creating a legal system, he's most likely getting executed. Thank you.
All right, good. Harlow
Okay,
and
and I think
Sliz, please.
Harlow is typing his answer. Let's see. Let's see if
So
he
it's most
agrees.
likely.
Look what to see.
All right then. Can I go first? He says.
Yeah, go ahead. Harlow is still writing his.
All right, nice. I'd like to say that if TXFC wasn't a politic, I'd execute him.
If it's not good.
Well, it's if he
Harlow?
wins. He right now he hasn't won anything, so we'll have to see. All right, now Harlow just sent his response. With the creation of a judiciary system, you may very well be the first ever prosecutor in a case against TX. Okay, Patrick Bateman?
Yeah, I'm gonna execute that guy. I'm gonna murder that guy. I'm gonna beat him
All
up
right.
with my
Sliss
own
is
very
not dumb,
hands.
by the way.
Bye,
Sliss is
bye,
not
Arnold.
dumb.
Bye.
Sliss
Okay.
said, yeah, okay. I'll
Now-
finish your sentence, Sliss. Hold on.
Silky, you can.
Wait.
Oh,
Theodore.
okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
He's not done yet.
Theodore.
However, if I do so, I would be eliminating a political opponent.
Hmm.
So thus, I can't kill him.
Okay.
I think
Does
he's
that
done.
answer?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay. Silky, I said you could go next, so you can come up. Just accept the thing I sent you. I'll give you like a good 5 seconds to do that. There you go. All right, ask away.
Sorry, it takes a while because I'm on Xbox. My question is to everyone, all the
Did
candidates.
you just say you're on Xbox?
Yeah, because my PC microphone is fucked. My question is all the candidates. You say Snjokoma is all equality and democratic. So if a nation votes to be communist, why would you want to kill them? Because they chose that is the people's.
That's a good question. It's a good question.
If we're equal, why are we killing them? Because they voted to be communist. Shut up, Sliz. You're not 50. That's all.
Alright. I'll answer it first. What is one of the main parts of communist regimes? Well, they are regimes, they are dictatorships. How could we believe these votes to elect a communist leader are truly fair? Which fair election? Wait, let me actually stand up. Fair election is part of democracy. Fair election is part of Snjokoma's value because of this. Because of this, we cannot trust any communist regime because they are most likely elected with a rigged vote, and thus we cannot trust them, and thus they must be eliminated. Thank you.
Cool. Okay. And Harlow just texted. He said, let me see. If they don't pose a threat to any country or our country, we don't intervene in their politics. I agree wholeheartedly with Slinky. Okay.
Exactly. I'm just smart like that. I am Sensei Wu.
I have a question.
Okay, so let's
so
your
I don't
turn.
get.
No,
This is
no,
not good
TX.
news.
No, you wait your turn. You wait your turn. Get back. There you go. All right. Anyone else want to answer Soku's question?
Sliss wants
Yeah,
to.
Sure, I'd
Zilch.
like to. Yeah, I'd like to. Well, communism, as we know from Marxist-Leninism, is the argument that every nation in the world should inherently become communist at some point through violent revolution. So to say that communism is an ideology of peace or pacifism is inherently a lie, because we know that communist states want to make other states communist. As democratic states tend to want to make other states democratic at times, we must look at the international stage and say, hey,
Hold up.
we want to preserve our democracy. We want to be strong. We want to be united, and we want to be Snjokoma forever. We don't ever want to be communist in any fashion of the word.
Did you just compare communism with democracy?
I compare them because they're different ideologies. Democracy is better than communism in
I have
any
another
way,
question.
manner, and form.
Well, Silky, you got away with your question because Sliss still has to answer your first one.
Yeah, Sliz,
That's
go ahead.
true.
Yes, you can speak now. Because commies are dirty and deserve death. That is all.
Alright, can I ask my question now? Soup Joy?
Okay. I guess that answers it. All right, you go ahead. And I'll probably be the last one. I guess we could do Mig after, and then that'll be it.
Alright, so I have a question. Why does everyone want to execute me so bad? Like, I get
Oh,
like Cute
okay.
Potato wants to execute me.
That's just not a question. That's just not a question you can ask. I'm sorry. We have a movie. All right,
Ooh,
now
I know
we
this
will
one.
have. We'll just have, I think, Mig. There you go.
Hello, hello. Does my mic work? Hello?
Yep.
Okay. I just got a new one. So my question is simple. I just got it. I don't know if it's been asked already. What is your we all know and love?
What? Wait, what did you say?
Wait, okay, I'm lagging, bro. I can't speak. Let me just DM you.
Okay. Okay. He said, "What's your goal with Daybreak?" Okay. Guess candidates answer that if you wish.
Sure, I'd like to go first. I don't mind.
Go ahead.
Well, in terms of Daybreak, well, I was the one who forged the alliance with them. I think Daybreak is our most valuable ally, by far. I think they're our trusted friend and partner throughout everything. And I think any foreign policy we should pursue and we should coordinate with Daybreak together. So I'm a fairly open in terms of this entire argument that Daybreak is our strongest ally and partner. And I say any issues or concerns that Daybreak has are also issues and concerns that Snjokoma has. During the Union War, when they were being harassed by the Union, we stood there with them and we declared that war on their part too. And we fought alongside them. During the Falkland War, Daybreak and us were alongside each other, fighting against insurmountable opponents and threats together. If Daybreak was in danger, then we would be there. Snjokoma stands with Daybreak. That is what I say.
May I?
Yes.
All right.
Hold on. Let me wait. Hold on, Janelle. Let me read out Harlow's message because I'm gonna forget
Alright.
about it. All right. Daybreak is one of our closest allies, being with us through thick and thin. In accordance to my foreign policy, we will continue cooperation and further expansion of our relationship through trade, new treaties, and further cross development. Okay, go ahead.
All right. My stance with Daybreak are basically the same as Zylo's, as with a few notable exceptions. Daybreak and Snjokoma are now close allies, even closer than we were with Numidia. Bro, what the hell? Before. Even though there was evidence that Daybreak was potentially going to be declaring war on Snjokoma alongside with Falkland, I think we should make our alliance even stronger and let the past be the past. Of course, this doesn't mean that we should entirely forgive this, but you know, Daybreak is a great nation, and our alliance is ever stronger. And I wish to pursue this alliance. I wish to continue to pursue this alliance. But yeah, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else want to answer?
Can Slick speak now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'd like to say that Daybreak is our closest ally ever. They are a second half, and for any Crimsorans in the crowd, many Daybreakers used to be in a nation with us. So it makes sense to continue being allies and making sure that they will defend us and we will defend them. Some talk about how they nearly allied with Falkland, but if anyone paid attention to what Suit was saying in general, it wasn't even close. Daybreakians, our brothers, must be held close, and under my administration, I will make sure that we will be better allies than ever before. All right, that is all. Thank you. Also,
Okay.
Wait, since I'm still here, I want to clarify
whoever is
just
throwing
basic.
snowballs, please stop. Sorry.
The Daybreak in Falkland Alliance was really close. That is not true, but it will be involved in the Treaty of the Alliance that Daybreak will never war Snjokoma. Just want to clarify that one. Thank you, guys.
Okay. That's all. Audience. All right. I don't want to go on for too long. I think we all have better things to do. So here's what I'm gonna do. I promised Silky he can have another question. But wait. But Malmoa has been waiting for like 30 minutes.
From what Suit
so
said was saying, it wasn't close. I had to say that. It was part of my job, sorry.
I guess
He said,
I'll
never
let
mind, so I guess.
I'll let Malmoa speak, and I guess Silky can ask his question next, but yeah, there we go. All right. Now we can go ahead and accept that, and then hello? Oh, he's typing in chat. Okay. Can you type faster? Okay. What is the opinion of the candidates on the current colonial situation of Eldoria? Does anyone know what he's talking about? Okay. Well, Silky, you're the last one. Accept the thing, and we can all go to sleep or something.
I have another question on left-centered government. Where do you stand on democratic socialism, like social democracies?
I can
That's my
answer.
question.
Sliss says. The only good commie is a dead commie.
Is that from Rambo? Yeah, social democrats aren't commies.
If they are social democrats, then they are butchering our great ideology. Democracy. My friends. Have you ever heard a nation call themselves a social democracy and be democratic? Like, for example, North Korea? Exactly. Fucking hell.
All right.
Silch, you're naming Finland, which doesn't exist. What the hell? Has
Okay.
people within margin of error. They simply do not exist.
Okay. Well, I think that's it. So
I'd
that
like to go on
ends
the question. Oh, I'd like to answer the question.
Oh my
Just
god.
one last. Yeah, then we can end it. We can end it after this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, in terms of the meaning of the question, first of all, social democracy, to Sliz, who doesn't know what it isn't forms of communism, but ideas of democracy and elements of socialist aspects like free housing and stuff. So that's what that means. Anyway, in terms of what I'd like to say, I think Sliz is a fairly slow candidate, Harlow is a fairly weak candidate, and Jen is a okay candidate. He's second best choice, I'd say. And there's a few good candidates here, but honestly, I think it comes down to their policies, how they've spoken today. And I think, honestly, those who are tough on foreign policy and those who are strong with our allies today, I think you can ask Mig, who has been strongest on that. And I think, honestly, what can I say more? I believe Snjokoma is strong together. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, that's essentially ends the whole debate thing.
Let
But
me
for
ask a question.
oh no, Harry, no, oh my god. That's
Try to ignore me, Sujo, bro. I saw you.
Go ahead, you can ask.
What are the candidates' like opinion on staying allies with Daybreak? Are you gonna explore our options?
There will be no exploration. We support Daybreak only.
Fantastic. Anyone else want to answer?
Didn't Mig just ask this?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Yeah, I think everyone said essentially that they all stood by you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
W. That's fine then. Don't believe in
Okay.
us. If you do, I'll come get you.
I bet. Well, with that pretty much ends it. But for fun, I'm gonna let up Burb. Burb, you can accept the invite.
I
Hi, Burb.
I mean, I don't really have anything to say now because everyone's gone.
There's like 20, 30, like 30 people in right now, man.
Yeah, yeah, my whole thing was mostly responding to the
Mhm.
previous questions, but considering
The
so
previous
far what
you wanted to
Yeah.
answer the question?
No, I was gonna answer the what's it called, the debate question, because I thought I was gonna be allowed to speak on the regard as a candidate, but then
No,
I just
I mean
wasn't invited.
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But then
Yeah.
Silky said you guys weren't actually running.
Okay, he didn't tell me that at all.
Huh.
He literally just like I was just kind of you literally said I said I was gonna run, and then he was just like, "Well, shit. All right. Well, now I'm just
That
gonna
might
go."
have to be something. Oh, okay. I see why you're DMing me then a lot. Okay, well.
Yeah, because no one, because he
Yeah,
just said
yeah.
like, "Oh, here's the party. I would like to join the party. I'm gonna run," and then, oh my god, you didn't tell. Now you tell me this. All right. Well, whatever. I'm just.
Well, yeah, you have to talk to
I got
Silky about
jumped.
that.
By the way, we got jumped like 3 times by friggin' Duck because he wouldn't leave the stage and he got all mad and he
Yeah,
started fighting us.
yeah.
I'm going back to my factory, bro. This is not worth it. This was.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's about it, y'all. I guess I can let up hate hacks real quick, but I mean he spams my DMs, so let's see what he has to say. Speak. Okay, you had your chance to speak. All right. Well, y'all, I'm gonna end the stage, and then we'll set up the polls for the elections. So, bye, guys. Let's see.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Bye. I love you all. Consensually.
I love you.